Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, you know him well. He is the Texas Oak. He is Logan Franklin. And today we're going to talk about where he's been, where he's going, all kinds of cool stuff. So now from Texas, please welcome the Texas Oak, Logan Franklin. What's up, Logan?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on like always.
Yeah, so let's start back at the Texas Pro. This was August 19th, 2023.
18-19.
So that was, you had done the show 2 years before, correct? 2021?
Yes.
And edged out at that show by Robert Timms. Did you make it? You didn't make it to Olympia that year, did you?
No, Robert Timms got the nod. It was a 1-point decision. And then I went to the Arnold Classic that year.
That's right. Was that the year you got best poser?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, there you go. So you come back. We waited until, I wouldn't say till the last minute because there were shows, but you wanted to come back and win the Texas Pro.
Yes.
Timms, who had been sort of MIA for a long time, he shows up again. And this time, I'm doing the previews with Giles, and I'm like, okay, it's going to come down. It's this big showdown between. It's going to be a rematch, and it's going to be like Rocky 2 and Apollo. And no, it didn't turn out that way. Yeah. This guy from Korea, oh gosh, I can't remember. J1? I'm
not even sure his name, to be honest. J something.
I apologize, everyone, for not knowing his name off the top, but he looked great. So, like I said, Classic's one of those divisions where people I've never heard of sometimes is like, oh my God, who's that? Mm-hmm. He won that show. So now I'm thinking, what's Logan going to do next? And I'm looking at the schedule. I see all these shows, but you don't pop up until the Legion Sports, which is the last chance to qualify for Olympia. And man, you would have had it if it weren't for you meddling kids, or in this case, Ruffin, Ruff Diesel, 2-time Arnold Classic champion, 2-time Olympia runner. He had just won his qualification at the Dubai Pro 2 weeks before that. Not even sure why he went to Legion. It's a great show. Props to Chris Minnis. He puts on an amazing production out there, has been for years. But I was at that point like, oh, no, Logan, what's Logan going to do? And I never say, it's not that I don't believe in you. It's just he's rough. He's Ruff Diesel, man.
Terrence is a phenomenal bodybuilder. Very great.
My first question is, after Texas Pro, you had to figure out something because I know you want to get back to Olympia. You'd already missed the last 2 Olympias. One because you qualified late. You qualified after by winning the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic. Then last year, things went kooky with your body the night before. You were having a very rough time and decided wisely, I think, to pull out before anything worse could have possibly happened to you. But yeah, so Texas Pro, you didn't get your qualification there. You wake up the next day. What was your plan at that point?
After the Texas Pro, we'll just keep it real. I got pretty bitter after the Texas Pro. I didn't agree with how I was placed, I mean, congrats to the gentleman that won, but I felt I should have gotten the nod at that one. I felt I had the most complete physique. I felt that our conditioning was not the discrepancy between our conditioning wasn't so great that, it was significantly better than my glutes were striated, everything. I just didn't have my shorts all the way up my ass like a thong, and, his quads were very striated, but that was the only muscle on his body, it seemed, that was striated. His upper body was soft, and I felt mine was much more developed and tighter up top. Yeah. So I was very confused with the judging decision. And like I said, it made me bitter. So I'll keep it real. It made me bitter. And I had no plans to compete after that. After that, I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to, if I'm not good enough to beat this guy with how I brought my conditioning, then I'm not ready to go and place in the Olympia where I believe I'm capable. And that's a podium finish. I believe I can finish there one day and win the Olympia. I believe that to my soul, to my core, down to my bone, and because of that decision, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna improve, and then whenever I'm ready, I'm going to come back and I'm going to make it to where you cannot deny my physique, my shape, my symmetry, the old school classic look that I bring, which I didn't feel the gentleman that, beat me at that weekend. I'm not trying to sound some type of way, but I'm just going to keep it real. You know, no one keeps it real anymore. And like I said, I felt like I had the most symmetrical classic look, you know, and plus the posing, my posing compared, it didn't count for anything. You know, I was posing for 2-3 hours a day, you know, and these guys, it seemed like they posed for 15 minutes a day and did 2 hours of cardio. So I was like, dang, you know, like posing and presentation really doesn't count for anything. Even though when you go to like the IFBB website, that's like one of the main criteria is if you go and read the rules under classic, presentation, posing, symmetry, all these things are supposed to be counted higher, and extreme conditioning is supposed to actually be docked. And the way you wear your shorts, if you have your shorts up your butt, it's supposed to be counted off too, you know, and it was all these things. So it was just one of those, dang, you know, what the heck? So that was my honest, genuine feeling and reaction to how I placed in Texas. Just keeping it real. People can get mad for how I felt about it, or they can get over it, because I got over it. You know, I got mad and then I got over it. So whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't planning on doing another show except for the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic, because I have committed myself to that. I gave Sean Ray my word, and I am a man of my word. You know, I was raised that way. If I say I'm going to go do something, I'm going to go and do it. And so I had no plans to continue competing this season until after the Olympia for the Hawaii show.
Yeah.
But, you know, a couple weeks after the Texas Pro, I had eaten my ass off. I had eaten everything. I stopped posing. I didn't pose but a handful of times between Texas and the Legion Sports Festival, to be honest with you, because like I said, I got bitter, and I was like, dang, I'm posing for this much every day, and it didn't mean anything. So I stopped posing. I just kind of hung around the house. You know, I spent more time with my son. I rested more, spent more time with my wife, and I tried to just get my mind back right. And it took a lot longer than I wanted to get here. And I knew that Terrence Ruffin was competing in the Legion. So people think that maybe I signed the contract and then Terrence jumped in. No. I knew Terrence was doing that show, and I jumped into that show.
Wow.
And the reason why is because, you know, I put on my story a couple weeks later because a lot of fans were upset that I wasn't going to be competing. And I asked if the fans wanted to see me compete again and continue to try to qualify. And, you know, the vast majority of the poll was yes. And a bunch of DMs, hundreds of DMs. Yes, please compete. So I was like, okay, guys, you know what? Let's put it on for the fans. Let's do something exciting. And there was only one show that motivated me, and that was a show against Terrence Ruffin, you know, arguably top 3 guy in the world.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this will show the world if I'm ready to have my look compared to these guys up there. And on top of that, you know, Terrence is an exceptional poser. He's legendary. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that, you know, him and I battling together on stage posing would be exciting for the fans and for you know, people tuning into the show. And I knew that. So about 3 weeks out, I announced that I was going to do the show, and also hoping that it would help me flip the switch back in my mind to go, okay, let it go. Let's get back to work. It really didn't. You know, I'm not going to lie. I announced that I was going to do the show, and I was still just like in a really bad headspace the entire prep, which is unfortunate. You know, I allowed myself to get bitter, and I didn't allow myself to get better. And that's something that I have to live with and learn from. You know, I'm learning from it, but still, you know, I knew Terrence was doing this show. And like I said, so I signed the contract and I jumped into the show, and, you know, it went down the way you saw it. I actually had a really good time competing with Terrence, like I always do. At the Arnold Classic, it was awesome battling with him, you know, posing down in the call outs, and then, trying to edge him out with our posing during the prejudging and the finals routine posing. So I thought that was great the last time, and then it was even better this time because it was more just him and I one-on-one type feeling, and it made it really exciting for me, and I hope it did for him as well. So I even told him, I was like, man, you make me better in a way, because it made me want to bring that energy to the stage,
Yeah. He actually made a really cool post. I think it was either Sunday or Monday. No, the show was Sunday. I think he made it on Monday.
It's the very next day he made a post.
Very, very.
So I was like, man, I was going to congratulate him already, because I truly respect Terrence. I respect things that he's done, the quality of a man that he is, his past experiences. We can relate on a lot of things. We're both veterans. I'm a combat veteran. Yeah. We both served the United States military. So it was just one of those things, but I was not expecting him to make a post that like he did. And it was awesome. So it felt even more,
I know what you mean. Well,
yeah, it was genuine. So I had to get a post up for him immediately the next day. I made something for him, and I wish him the best. I hope he goes to the Olympia this year and crushes them.
Let me ask you: were a lot of your fans upset that he did that show?
No, I don't think they were, and I hope they weren't. I hope they weren't, because I'm not looking for an easy way. I go for the roughest route, the hardest route. That's going to make me the best man that I can become. I'm challenging myself. I compete to be the best. I don't compete to get more stage time. I don't make shit from competing. You go to a show, you make $1,000, $2,000, and it costs you $10,000 to prepare. Right. It's not worth it. It's really not. But I loved competing. My passion is presenting myself, developing my physique, old school, and showing the art, displaying it on stage, power, balance, artistry. Like, I love all these things, combining them and showing it with proper emotion. So that fuels me, and that is my passion for why I do this. So like I said, I hope that the fans were more excited than disappointed whenever they knew that Terrence was doing that show either. And for people that think that Terrence jumped into it just because I was doing it are completely false. It's the other way around. Wow. And because he already had his contract signed and announced for, I think, before the Texas Pro, everyone knew he was doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't sign my contract until a week and a half out from the show. I had announced that I was going to jump into it 3 weeks out.
Wow. So that brings me up to 2 weeks out from that show, Legion, on September 23rd, there was a contest in San Antonio, which is, how far is that from where you are?
It's about 2-3 hours from my house.
So you could have driven there. I mean, that would have been, if you were looking for Olympia qualification, I don't know who won, so I'm not trying to say, oh, you would have blown them away, but most likely, you just took second to Ruffin. Most likely you would have won that, but you knew about that show, obviously. You see the schedule for the shows. Were you aware of it, and you didn't want to go for a quote unquote easy win?
Oh, of course. Like I said, I knew there was multiple shows. There was more than just that show. There was 10 other shows I could have cherry picked.
Just to let the viewers know, these are the shows that Logan bypassed. There was one in Mexico, Tokyo, Korea, Libya, Spain, Texas, Brazil, and France. All those happened in between Texas Pro. You could have gone to any of those shows, but you didn't.
I didn't care to. Like I said, I don't compete for more stage time. I compete to be the best, and I need to challenge myself. And the best way to challenge myself is to go where I know the challenge is most, where the opposition is greatest, and that is through Terrence. Knowing that sorry, I've got a ton of notifications that keep popping up and blocking my screen. Like I said, that's the greatest route, the greatest opposition that I could go through. And like I said before, it was the most exciting as well because of what Terrence brings to the stage. The same energy that I want to bring, the same energy that I bring with the posing and the artistry, so it was one of those things. I got to do that, and I felt that in Texas, if the judges were able to just say, hey, that guy's better than you because X, Y, and Z, then I'm not ready to go to the Mr. Olympia and place where I believe I can, because I feel like if I was, then the slight discrepancy in conditioning shouldn't have mattered if my shape was as good as I had hoped it is or was or whatever, a classic old school shape that you thought the division was after. And you see, I sound bitter right now, even with me explaining it. I sound terrible, and I'm not trying to write off this guy's win. Truly. So I apologize to, I believe his name is Jay. Congratulations on his victory. But I feel his shape looks more suitable in other divisions, like 212. Yeah. He's very bottom half dominant.
Yes.
Upper body, his back was very weak. His arms were very soft. There's pictures of us. My arms. Oh my gosh! Every
arms look like.
So there was a lot of questions, and it raised more doubts in my mind, and that was part of my mindset that needed to be adjusted. So, yeah, I mean that's the real truth. That was the real feeling. So, like I said, people viewing this and watching this can take what they want from it, or just go, okay, well, he's being real. Yeah. This is how he felt. That's how I felt, But most people, if they feel that way, they're not going to say it. They're not going to say, well, this is how I feel it should have been. But whatever, it's over. Yeah. So I wanted to progress my physique and get better. But I ended up going to Legion Sports Festival.
Okay, so I'm curious, this year, have you coached yourself this year for your shows, or are you working with another coach?
So since I stopped working with Milo Sarshev after the Mr. Olympia debacle last year.
Yeah.
I've been coaching myself since day one after,
Oh, okay.
This entire year, both shows, everything was all me, I didn't have any second eyes other than my wife was like, you're fat, So, I truly did it all my own, and it was a great journey. And, I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot about myself because I was able to give myself 100% and not a coach 100% going the whole time. Are we going to peak? Is what this guy's telling me going to get me there? I do this every year, every time, every show for the last decade, but I still have yet to peak my physique. For some reason on stage, it seems like no coach has ever brought me in 100%.
Yeah. I'm curious because you've had a couple coaches, so I'm not putting any one coach on blast, but physically, did you feel better at these past two competitions, like on stage competing, than you have at previous competitions where maybe a coach would have had you do things that might have had you more dehydrated or just not feeling as good physically?
Well, there was a lot of things that I didn't take this year, in terms of gear wise and, final touch up wise. So we can just say that. Sure. I cut a lot of the things out, and I tried to stay more healthy and do it more old school and the less is more mentality. And at Texas, I could have been I could have been leaner. I could have been drier. I could have been fuller, harder. But like I said, I didn't feel the conditioning was such a big difference between anyone else, Yeah. So,
I mean, I'll be honest, these past couple shows, I've seen you fuller in the past. So yes, I don't know if
I could have definitely been fuller. I was a little flat for prejudging at the Legion Pro. I came in much more tighter and drier for Legion, but I didn't fill out enough the last days. I tried a different peak than I did the last time for Texas. I literally kept everything the exact same because I was like, you know what? If I look like a world beater in the gym if I'm doing everything here, I'm just going to continue the progress, right? Or the process, not the progress. Continue the process all the way to the show, and then wake up and we're going to be here. And that's what I did. I tried it. It didn't work out. And I got heavily ridiculed for it because I didn't win the show, because I was out of shape. And I'm like, out of shape, my glutes are striated. How is that out of shape? I could have been more in shape, but it's not out of shape, So,
Dude,
there was things.
Classic is so tough. Nobody who is out of shape is even getting first call out. You're not.
Man, yeah, and that's what a lot of the online followers don't realize. A lot of the guys that are still new, that are still green to this industry, to competing, to bodybuilding, they follow it on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and then they see pictures, they see low quality live stream screenshots and stuff, and then they instantly say, oh, this guy looks like shit. But you're like, did you see it in person? So it's oh man, it's
I gotta say, some of these live streams do a really good job. To me, the Gilco production guys, they're the best in the business right now. But even then, if you're at the show, you see details, you see things you don't see on the stream because it's 3-dimensional. And even if you wait for the high resolution pictures to come out, like on NPC News Online or something, a lot of times I'll be watching a live stream like, oh, this guy's off. And then I see the picture like, oh, I guess, no, he wasn't. That was just the freaking live stream made it appear that way. So yeah, you got a lot of these fans who are judging something that's not an accurate representation of what's really
going. And because I self-coached, the scrutiny was 10 times worse. Oh my God, this guy needs a coach. Oh my God, this guy sucks. He's out of shape. He can't get. I'm like, dude, you could do everything you freaking try. I could give you all the gear in the world and all the time in the world, and you couldn't get in this shape that I brought, type of things. And these are the people that will say you're out of shape and you suck. So it just gets to the point where that I still need to learn to just block that shit out, drown it out. Don't let it affect me and my dream, because, a lot of these haters, online, Arnold would say losers, people that tell you about, people that try to knock your dream and your belief and throw you off your track and your path in life, whatever that is. And, to not listen to them. Don't believe them. Tell them, no, you're lying to me, and continue to believe your own belief, in your own vision. Arnold would say, have faith in your vision. And, if you read into the comments too much, which I have been lately, because it's the last few years has been very rough, trying to balance all this. I'm a new father as of the last 3.5 years. This is a new world for me, trying to compete at the very highest level while taking care of a family, my son, my wife, and being there 100% for them, not just being, this person that never leaves their house and never does anything. And I don't want that for my family. I want them to still be able to have this great life. And a lot of bodybuilding can make that not as possible. So like I said, I've been trying to balance that for the last few years, and it's been difficult for me, but I'm giving it my best. I'm doing the very best that I can. And it's actually starting to get to the point where it's easier. Like, my son is 3.5 years old. He literally just started school since the Texas Pro. Next year is going to be incredible. The communication is going to be better. Like, it's not going to be difficult, or I'm not going to say it's not going to be difficult. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be as difficult as it has been. So it's only going to get better from here. And the fact that I was able to learn, through the situations that I've been in the last 2.5, 3 years, trying to balance, it's only going to make me better in the future whenever it's much more easy to balance my time, because my son's going to be in school and all these other things where I can go and do what I need to get done at a time where it's not affecting what we have going on throughout the day. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
I don't think any man will ever look back at his life, a father, and say, I wish I hadn't spent so much time with my kids. What I mean?
If anything, you'll look back and it'll be the complete opposite.
Right.
There'll be the regrets, damn it, I missed so much time. Damn it, I wasn't present.
Right.
You know, and that's not what I want. You know, I wanna be here the whole time. I wanna experience it all. You know, and that's what I really try to do, because you know, being the best dad that I can, the best husband that I can, is of the highest importance to me. It is higher than me achieving my ultimate dream of becoming the Mr. Olympia, you know? And so whenever you're juggling these two things, it's sometimes, you know, sometimes something has to kind of lean a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is, you know, and you just gotta keep moving forward the best that you can. And that's all I'm doing. You know, I'm never going to fucking quit, man. That fire inside of me, you know, all the little adversities, you know, I'm making it to where you know, adversity is your ally. If you look at it the right way, because then you can learn from it, and you can grow from it through the experiences, and it make you become the man or the woman that you're meant to be in life. So, yeah, man.
So Giles and I, we did a little recap. Well, we actually went over everyone qualified for the Olympia, and I meant to talk about classic stuff, but we didn't have time. We spent so much time in the open. But then at the end, Giles says, "Who would you want the special invite to go to this year?" And he thought I was going to say one of the open guys. I said Logan Franklin. I said,
man,
but he won't ask for it. He wouldn't take it. I know he won't. I know the guy. He's just not, you know. But that's
who is this?
Giles and I, we do a show called Power Hour, and we were talking about the Olympia coming up and everything. And that was a question. He asked me, who would you love to see get the special invite? Because, you know, it's been Derek Lunsford got it last year. Rami got it one time. Cedric got it one time. But they can, it was, Breon was going to ask for it for 212. So I don't think it's confined to the open. It's the Olympia. They can do whatever the hell they want. It's their show. They can invite me. I think I could be there. But I'm saying, I know the answers, but would you consider asking for it? Because you've only done the Olympia once and you were 9th place, not at your best. You've improved a lot since then. This will be 3 Olympias you've missed, and I think whether people love you or hate you, I don't think that they would deny that you should be on the Olympia stage. I think even if someone's not a Logan fan, they go, well, he is of that caliber. He should be in the Mr. Olympia. So,
you know, you are not wrong. I would never ask for an invitation. I don't feel that I have any right to, or I don't have any room to ask. It's not my place. You know, an invitation is an invitation, not a request. You know, so but if they were to approach me with one, fucking hell, I would go. You know, I mean, I'm competing 2 weeks after the Olympia in Hawaii. I'm going to be competing, and I will be winning the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic. You know, I promise.
But you're right. It's called an invitation, but you do have to ask for it, because Cedric had to ask, Rami had to ask, Lunsford had to ask. So I don't know why they call it invitation. Maybe we need another word there. Anybody in the comments want to give your opinion on what it should be called?
I was totally unaware that people were asking for invitations. You know, whenever you know, I've seen how in the past, how athletes and Hall of Fame bodybuilders of our past have been invited to the Mr. Olympia. You know, I always figured it was just because they were so great, you know, and no,
it was like, it's extenuating circumstances. Like in Cedric's case, he was doing like field operations that whole spring and summer or something. He legitimately couldn't do a qualifying show. Rami was supposed to do this show in Spain. It was like 2 or 3 weeks out, and he tested positive for COVID, and they wouldn't let him compete. Lunsford was a different division. But I want to say maybe it's similar, because the Arnold, which you've competed at twice now, the Arnold?
In classic?
Yeah. Oh, you've done it in men's physique too, but
I did it in men's physique. 1, 2. I think I've done it a total of 3 times.
So that's an invitation only show, but I know they also take applications. People ask to be invited, Were you always invited to that, or did you ever apply to the Arnold?
Well, in men's physique, there was no invitation, especially at that time. All you had to do back in those days, I believe, was just sign that you wanted to do it. Like send in your IFBB Pro card application and the money to pay for the Pro card. You had to do that before a certain time.
Yeah.
And then you had to say, hey, I would like to compete in the Arnold Classic. And then I guess they would have a list of everyone that said, and then from there they would choose. I don't necessarily know how that worked back in those days for men's physique. But the Arnold Classic, whenever I competed in 2021 for the Classic Physique division, I think I was asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, hell yeah, I would do it. And then that was how it was done. I'm not sure if it was necessarily an invitation or more so than just a, hey, would you be willing to do this show type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Solomon, Jake, whoever needs to hear this, I got his number. You probably got his number. You can get his number, guys. I mean, I'd love to see you in the Olympia again.
Man.
Just because.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't turn down an invitation. I'll tell you that, Yeah, but whether I feel that I deserve one is another thing, And oh my God, I could not imagine all the haters online that would lose their minds, if I if I got an invitation for the Olympia. But like I said, I don't believe that I'm at the caliber yet where I can just receive some kind of opportunity like that. I would love that, and like I said, I would not turn it down.
I think the point system, which they got rid of right after last year's Olympia. So there's tier one. I think the only tier one shows which you get the most points for are Olympia and Arnold. But Texas Pro is a tier 2 show now. And I believe Legion is too. So had the point system still been in effect or in place, I'm pretty sure you would have had the points to go to the Olympia because it's top 2 in point standings. And those are two big shows, second at one and third in the other. But that's in the past. So let's not dwell on that.
Another thing though, I'm so damn competitive. Like I said, like I don't play this game to compete and gain more stage time. Maybe in the very beginning, the first couple of years when you're a rookie and you're like, shit, you got that excitement. You want to do 5, 6, 7, 8 shows a year. But right now it's like, I want to get better. I want to get to the point where they see my physique and they go, that's going to be the Mr. Olympia one day, and it actually show and hold true. And, that's what I'm after. I'm after it. And, yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings me to my final point here. The weight cap got increased for the third time. And I'm assuming this is the last time they're going to do it for Classic because everybody got 5 pounds. Everybody got another 5 pounds. And then it was different based on your height, where guys as taller guys like you didn't get as much extra weight as shorter guys like Ruffin. He got like an extra 7 pounds. So what was your previous weight cap and what is it now?
So my weight cap moved from 222 pounds to 227 pounds.
Okay, 5 pounds. So what did you weigh at these shows, Texas and Legion?
At Texas Pro, I weighed in fully clothed. I always do this too because it kind of throws everyone off. Jumpsuit, the sweatpants, a hoodie,
Jordans,
wallet, phone, blunt, lighter, and all that stuff in my pocket. And I would weigh in at like 225 range. At the Legion Sports Festival at 1:30 p.m. during the day, same thing. I had heavy sweatpants on, dark sports stuff, sweatpants. I had my hat on after I did my height. I put my hat back on.
Yeah.
And then I had a hoodie on. I had my phone in my iPhone 12 Max, so it's a big phone. I had my wallet in my pocket, and I weighed in 225.5 pounds.
Okay. So what do you think you weigh just in trunks? If you would weigh in just trunks, any idea?
That morning, I probably would have been around 219. The morning of the show, of the Legion Sports Festival, I actually weighed myself the lowest that I have weighed since I made my classic debut in 2019 at the Tampa Pro. Actually, no, excuse me. I weighed that light at the New York Pro in 2020 whenever I won the New York Pro as well. I was 214 pounds at the New York Pro. Okay. And at this show, the morning of the show, I was 214.8 pounds.
Wow. So
I could grow a lot more and fill out my physique a lot more, but that is not so important to me. I'm not the guy that chases the scale. I don't look at the scale and go, oh my God, that number has to always be climbing. And I need to chase 300 pounds. I need to be 280 pounds in the off season so I can compete at 220 pounds. These things, they don't resonate to me. That's not my mindset. That's not the old school mindset that I want to have. That classic thought. I want to be able to present myself professionally year round if I need to, do these photo shoots if I need to for companies, opportunities that arise that you may not have if you're 50 pounds overweight, and looking sloppy. Like I said, I'm not chasing scale. I'm not chasing the size. I'm chasing quality. I want that 24 karat gold quality, as Samir Bannout would say, 24 karat gold. Yeah. And then once everything is there, the lines, the symmetry, the muscle maturity, once all of that is there, the size is going to come, and the size will come with your posing and how you present your shape, because bodybuilding is what? It's an illusion. It's not a, oh, this guy outweighs that guy, but his belly is hanging out. The quality of the muscle is different. This guy looks like you pumped him up with a bicycle air pump, or this guy is 10 pounds lighter and he has lines everywhere. Every muscle is striated. Every muscle is completed. He can hit any pose, be captured from any angle, and it's aesthetic, and that's what I want to maintain. And that's what I want to stay true to, because that is the only reason why I'm continuing this process of bodybuilding and chasing this physique, because I want to resemble the physiques of the past that were so great. The Sean Rays, the Samir Bannout, the Lee Labrada, the Flex Wheelers before he got too big. You know what I'm saying? Like these shapes that were so complete, and they were like at the perfect size before they lost the aesthetics. Not saying that they lost the aesthetics, but you get what I mean? Like, I don't want to lose the aesthetics. I want to just maximize my physique and my shape and the proportion. And then along with it, I want to be able to present myself so professionally that every time I step on stage, everyone is fucking glued into what I'm doing. And, that's what I'm after. And not the scale. The 5 pound increase, it doesn't necessarily even help me. It just means shit. I gotta worry about these guys that are coming in maxing out their weights now. Yeah. And hopefully they give me the nod, having a beautiful physique and symmetrical physique to my physique, rather than, oh, this guy over here has super dominant quads, but his upper body is a couple years behind his lower body, type of thing, Yeah. Or vice versa. Upper body completely doesn't match the lower body. The front doesn't match the back the front. I want to have that ultimate symmetry. The front, the back, the side, 3/4, everything, and that's how I feel the art is really made, is to have that ultimate symmetry, not the ultimate mass. Wow. However, the muscularity is important as well. Like I said, the size will come once the shape is there, once all the muscles are completed. For example, look at Terrence Ruffin. He has it all. He has the posing. He has all the symmetry, the conditioning, and he looks much bigger than the weight that he weighs, because he has it all. And the way he presents it and poses, and that's what I'm after. That's what I want. I don't want to have to weigh 260, 70 pounds, and I'm worried about, oh my gosh, am I healthy? Am I going to be healthy when this is all over? Because that is important to me as well. There's life after bodybuilding. Yeah. And, I want this to be life extension. I don't want it to just be, I'm in my 30s now. By the time I'm in my mid 40s, I feel fucking awful, So,
Well,
that's where I'm at, man.
I know you're not going to take this the wrong way because you appreciate honesty. I look at you at these shows and I say, beautiful shape, structure, condition, second only to probably Rough Diesel as far as posing prowess in the industry, not just classic. Anybody, any division, I don't care. If you were fuller, a little bit bigger and fuller, and I'm not telling you need to be 270 in the off season, fucking blast a gram of trend and 12 IUs. I'm not telling you to do any of that, but you will do better. Your physique, you have long limbs, you have a big structure. It can hold more mass. I want to see you do better, and I don't want you to compromise your health or anything stupid like that, but I know in my heart you would do better, just a little bit bigger and fuller, because that's what they want. You can see who's winning shows. Look at the Olympia, look at the Ramones, the Bumsteads. Urs is getting bigger. That's the standard. You know, I'm way older than you. I remember the Samirs and the Labradas and the Muhammad Makaways. You know, but that's the past. I know you're trying to keep that alive, and I definitely appreciate that, and I respect that. But I want to, selfishly, I'm rooting for you. I want to see you do better, and I know that's the only thing that I think is standing between where you're at now and where I think you could be right now. Just a little bit more, not like 10 more, 20 more pounds. A few more pounds of fullness would make a massive difference on you, in my opinion.
Of course, I totally agree with you. And whenever I say I'm not chasing the scale, I don't mean I don't want to be a little bit bigger and fuller. There's totally areas in my physique that I'm going right now that I'm like, oh, I can be so much better here. For example, like competing with Terrence, like I said, because he's so complete, I can kind of have an idea of like, oh shit, okay, I need to kind of tweak a little area right in here, which would make my physique appear this much better. And then the fullness, like you said, I was a little flat for prejudging at the Legion, and I could have came in fuller. But it's a learning opportunity for me because I did it a different way, and now I know that I could have done it better and how I could have done it better. So I'm gathering information, and eventually I'm gonna freaking knock it out of the park, and it's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. But yeah, I'm definitely going to improve in the fullness area because I have to, like you said, to be competitive. But I'm not just trying to, just jump that gap right now, because then I may lose, 10% of my aesthetics, and I don't want to lose that. I want to keep the aesthetics, but develop the muscularity of the aesthetics. So just, keep it going with the same shape. And that just takes time. That takes time, and to do it the right way. And, I like to say I'm patient and not patient at the same time, because everyone wants it kind of now, but I'm learning the hard way that, my journey is not going to be straight to the top like some of these guys. Some of these guys, it blows my mind, 24 years old, 25, and then all of a sudden they're right at the top. And I'm like, holy shit, I've been doing this shit for a decade, and I feel like I can totally be right there, but why am I not there? I'm trying not to worry about that. I'm trying to just think about the improvement and where can I improve. And in the long run, the long game, because I've been here for a decade now, 9 years, and I've already seen so many guys come and go, and I'm still here. And people like to argue that I'm at the top, even though I'm not there at the Olympia. But like you said, people would argue that I'm right there.
100%.
And I'm still healthy. I'm trying to maintain that health. And a lot of these guys that are so young, and they've been watching guys like myself since I've been competing at the beginning, and they were in middle school on their cell phones seeing us. We didn't have that. So it's a totally different game. And it's gonna happen. I gotta just be patient and let it happen on God's plan. It's not on my timeline. I'm just following the path that's in front of me.
Right on. Cool. Well, I want to reiterate again, if anyone from the Olympia committee is watching this, he's not going to ask for it. He's got his pride and everything, but I'm just throwing it out there, guys. Logan should be in the Olympia. He's a fantastic class physique pro. You want followers? He's got 1 million followers. He's got a great physique. He's an amazing poser. Whatever. I don't need to sell Logan Franklin. You know who he is. So just leave that out there. Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic. You know, you're a man of your word. I'm glad you're still doing that, of course. So I assume you're going to be in the 2024 Olympia based on that. But you know, I'm still holding out hope because I'm crazy like that for this year. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, like I said, I'm getting ready for the Hawaii show, so I'm going to be in shape for the Mr. Olympia, and I wouldn't turn it down. I mean, I cannot imagine someone in their right mind saying no to an invitation to the Mr. Olympia. No. I think it would be the worst decision ever.
If they're in shape, if they're like,
if they're in shape and they're ready to go, yeah, okay, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, man, again, I also really applaud your decision to continue coaching yourself, because all it would take is one show you didn't win for most guys to jump right back on the coach train, looking for someone to friggin', you know, rescue them and solve all their problems and just absolve all responsibility. Just here, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. It's much, much harder. You know, I always coach myself. Sean Ray coached himself, Kevin Leveroni, Dorian. It's a lot harder, but I think it's a lot more rewarding too, because you're learning things about yourself, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that you would not learn with a coach necessarily, because they're handling everything. You're just like a robot. Tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yeah. And you're just going through the process and you're not digesting the information, and you're just kind of rolling the dice every prep, because, you know, you never know. Are you going to land it? Are you not? Are you going to peak? Is this gentleman going to be paying attention to me, or is he going to be distracted with other things that's going on, other athletes that aren't his athletes? Is he going to be present? Is he going to make the right decisions? Because I'm going to follow these decisions. Right. You know, all these things, you know, are stresses that you have to worry about. And then another thing, you go and get a coach, and then it's no longer the oh my God, this guy needs a coach. It's going to be the, oh my God, why did he choose that coach? Right. Why isn't he with this coach? Right. And it's the same song. So you can never make the haters that just want to be haters happy. You know, they're going to ridicule, they're going to criticize, because that's what they're good at. Yeah. And a lot of times it's because these people are just freaking unhappy. I mean, you'll never see me go onto somebody's page randomly and just start fucking typing Twitter thumbs on their shit, you know? I see it all the time, even with people that I compete with, or a gentleman that I compete with at the Texas Pro is all over everything trying to get a response from me. And I'm just like, dude, get over it, you know? But, yeah, keeping it real, man. Episode 1, you know?
No, you always do. That's why I like interviewing. I know you're not going to worry about offending people. You're just going to speak what's on your mind and your heart. You're not.
Can we get back to the 90s mindset, please? Everyone's so offended by little things that you say, and
unfortunately, no, we can't. But, we need a time machine, but no. Yeah. So that's it, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, and you know, appreciate everything you do in the sport. You're keeping the classic old school vibe alive in your own way. And I don't know if the younger people catch that or appreciate that, but I guarantee you the fans who are a little older, they certainly do. So
man,
keep doing what you're doing, Logan. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
So guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like the video, share the video, give us some comments below. We love your feedback. Maybe Logan will look at your comments and respond. You never know.
Or maybe not. I might just stop reading comments now.
Not a horrible idea. So that's it, man. Thank you so much, Logan. And thanks everyone out there for watching. Ronline Report with the Texas Oak, Logan Franklin. We'll see you next time.
It's all good. All right, guys. See ya.
Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.